negotiating this on Capitol Hill. Is it
Immigration or?
I'm so sorry. Immigration is on my mind.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to make sure I was answering the right question.
No, on the George Floyd Act. Or this issue of police reform. Does this White House see this as the George Floyd Act all or nothing? Is there room for Republican proposals like the one from Senator Tim Scott?
Of course, this is going to be a discussion, and a lot of the conversations right now, as you know, from covering this, are happening between Democrats like Senator Cory Booker and like Senator Tim Scott, and they're going to have to decide where they can find agreement moving forward. Ultimately, the president believes, as he conveyed quite passionately last night, that we need to put in place police reform measures. They're long overdue, and certainly the events of the last few weeks elevate this as an issue we should be we should be addressing as a society. So we know that democracy in action means there are negotiations, there's compromise. We'll see what that looks like, but our objective here is to stay in close touch through senior members of our White House team, through the president himself, to be helpful and constructive and give feedback as needed, but also to leave space for those conversations to happen.
Because you mentioned the negotiations on the Hill as a separate entity from this White House. Could you just elaborate on what you just said, the president's involvement and senior staff's involvement? We've seen the president get involved in negotiations on infrastructure, on COVID relief. Will he get involved in something like police reform?
He had a high-level conversation with members of the Congressional Black Caucus just last week. And this was a prominent part, an important part of that conversation. And I wasn't intending to send, so I appreciate you asking, I wasn't intending to convey that it was separate. It's not separate, but there are conversations that are happening between Democrats and Republicans on Capitol Hill. We are staying abreast of those. We are certainly engaged with a number of those members at a range of levels in this White House, including at the president's level, but also from leaders in the legislative team, from leaders of his Office of Public Engagement, and from leaders of the Domestic Policy Council.
Does the president have a deadline by which he would like to see this on his desk, given where this falls in the national discourse right now and the importance and the potential for losing the momentum that exists?
Well, I think the president certainly sees this moment as an opportunity to redouble everyone's efforts in getting this legislation passed and move forward. But he also recognizes, having served 36 years in the Senate, that you can't rush negotiations between Democrats and Republicans. He's eager to have something on his desk, but we're not here to set a deadline at this point in time. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen.